Hello, this is David Mixner, and welcome back after the holidays. I hope you all had a successful and wonderful and fun holiday. I sure enjoyed my time off. Before I begin, please hit the subscribe button. That helps me very much. And also in the description below, you'll find a link to my Patreon page, which will enable you to help me get by each month. $25 a month is like the admission cost to the Eagle or 2 cocktails, and it would make a world of difference to me. So if you're able to do that, please click on that and fill out the information. Today, I want to talk about the issue that is the root evil of all issues. It's a pretty powerful statement to say that, but I really mean it. It's amazing to me that we talk about climate change and world hunger and poverty and congestion and traffic and overcrowded schools, overcrowded hospitals, not enough doctors, without us seriously coming to terms with population. At all the big conferences and all of these issues, rarely is it addressed except maybe as a little talk group off on the side. And the fact of the matter is, what's causing all of this climate change and what's causing all of these issues, child hunger, poverty, is just too many damn people. Our planet cannot sustain the continued growth rate that we're undergoing. It will increase the carbon footprint. It will make trees disappear. It will make the ability of cities to provide services collapse. It is growing someplace so fast. Now, just to give you an idea, I was born in 1946. And in 1946, there were about 4 billion people when I was born. As of January 1st of this year, there's over 8 billion. So in my lifetime, it has doubled. So find your birth year and see what it will be in your lifetime. And it is strikingly scary. Some countries, like Niger, has an average family size of 7 per family. It also has one of the worst hunger rates, world poverty rates, lack of education, lack of resources. And it is also a hotspot for insurgencies. Africa will grow by 25% by 2050. You know, by 2050, by 2050, Mumbai will have 42 million people. 42 million. Tunisia in the Belgium and the Democratic Republic of the Congo will have 35 million people. There's no way a country with the internal strife, the corrupt government, the lack of services, the lack of infrastructure, will be able to sustain and meet the needs of 35 million people in one city. It will collapse under the weight of the number of population. Now, this is not a new issue. ZPG, zero population growth, has been around for years. But it's an issue we will not address. Why won't we address? Well, it goes to the heart of a lot of things. Religion. Religions, Muslim, Catholics, and other religions want lots of kids. And in the old days, that was so that they could send them on crusades. Countries like lots of young people so it can protect themselves and fill their armies. It also means that their faith has more people and they're more powerful. They have more congregants. So they oppose birth control. They oppose choice. They oppose family planning. They, most of all, oppose sex education, which gets us to the second reason. No one wants to have a brutal and frank conversation with sex education. Now, when I was growing up, maybe at a junior and senior high school, if you were lucky, you got a few points about the birds and bees. But now it's not uncommon for teenagers to be pregnant at 14 years old. So it is imperative that we deal with this issue of our fear of talking about sexuality with our children and even ourselves. It is amazing how few people can get access or knowledge to what can do in family planning. Many insurance plans won't include family planning, won't include birth control and all of that. So unless we deal with this, our planet will literally collapse with too many damn people. Now, some countries have taken things in an authoritarian way that has worked, but we also love democracy. China, which suffered through famine after famine after famine. Excuse me, I think I'm still hungover from the New Year. If only I drank, but I don't. Thank you. Did the one-child policy. And since the one-child policy, I think they've increased it to 2 or 3 now, I'm not sure. There has been no famines. The economy has prospered. Now, the problem with China is the authoritarian dictatorships of the Communist Party leaves people with no rights at all, no say. Now, how in a democracy and how as an instrument of foreign policy can we deal with this issue so that we can finally come to terms with some of the root causes of all of the major issues of our time? Well, let's take the United States. First of all, we have to have widespread sex education available, including in walk-up clinics where teenagers can get information in birth control. To pretend they won't have sex and that that's a family affair is jeopardizing their lives, jeopardizing their future, and having their parents force their religious beliefs on their children. We have to have sex education, serious sex education, beginning at freshman in high school, about family planning, how not to get pregnant, what you can do, choice, and all of that. It's just essential. We also have to make sure that our doctors and nurses are trained in having frank and honest discussion with parents and so on sexuality and options. We don't even allow options to take place, let alone pass legislation. Now, I have something that I believe deeply would help us here in the United States, but it will never pass, but I'm going to throw it out anyhow. Maybe some of you will discuss it and it will take a life on eventually. And that is right now in our taxes, we can take off, I don't know, I don't have children, so I can't remember, say $600 a child off our taxes. So if you have 15 children, you can take off $600. That's an incentive to have children. It is an incentive to overcrowd our schools. It is an incentive where those who do the responsible thing and have 2 children, which will keep the population even, have to end up supporting their choices of having children, not educating them, creating problems, creating crime, unable to afford education. So here's what I suggest. I suggest that we give everyone the choice whether they want a large family or not. We have no business telling a person they can't have 8 children if they want to. However, we don't have to subsidize it. So the first 2 children, you get to take off your taxes. After that, you pay $600 per each additional child to cover the cost of the additional schools that need to be built, the ramifications on climate change, and so forth. It is sweet that you want 8, 10, 12 children, and if you want it, God bless you. And if you have the resources to do it and it's planned, God bless you. But we shouldn't have to pay for it. That's your choice, and your choice means there's economic consequences. So that's my suggestion, is that we use the tax code to incentivize people to have 2 children or less. I want to say also that it is very, very important as an instrument of our foreign policy, as we deal with governments around the world in both the State Department and Defense, we should have a population component. We should incentivize them receiving foreign aid by what they do on population control and family planning. We should make more money available in our foreign aid for family planning, for birth control. Right now, because of the opposition of religious groups to sex education and family planning, we can't do that. We can't help people responsibly create families in this planet. Now, it's outrageous. And so we have to do a 360 on this one and realize that our planet is going to collapse. By the end of the century, the capital, not the capital, but Lagos in Nigeria, they estimate will have 80 million people just in that one city. So a child born today will, in 75 years, leave a world with 80 million people. Now, if any of you think that we can create the infrastructure in that city and the ability and the traffic planning and all of the planning that goes in it, you're crazy. We can't do it now. And the same with other major cities around the world. The cities of the future with the largest populations won't be New York, Tokyo, or London. It will be Jakarta, Kinshasa, Lagos, places that have not put into place any kind of planning that will lead to war, starvation, collapse of society, congestion, air pollution, leaving a major carbon imprint simply to survive. So there it is. I believe that's the issue that we have to deal with aggressively, honestly, and openly, both domestically and internationally. Because if we don't, our planet won't survive. We can't sustain our population doubling in each lifetime. It's 8 billion now. By the time some of you in college now get my age, it could be 16 to 20 billion people on this planet. We just can't sustain it. And we are creating poverty, creating a carbon footprint that is just not able to turn around. It will be too late. So please click on my Patreon page and help me out. I could use help, quite honestly. Please subscribe, and welcome to the new year. And I wish you nothing but joy and peace and happiness in the new year. Thank you very much.